Hello, everybody. Go Buffs. I'll say that first. Welcome. Glad you're here. It's my privilege to introduce Ceal to all of you. Not that you need any introduction to her. She's in her 37th year in our athletic department. 22 as a head coach, over 400 wins, 6 Sweet 16s, and I'm pretty good. I've remembered that. And she's also was selected to the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame, which is no surprise to anybody. She currently serves on the Women's Basketball Selection Committee, which is a pretty significant honor. And so I'm going to ask her a couple questions. And the first question is, in your role as the Deputy Athletic Director and Senior Women's Administrator, explain what you do and what your focus is.
Okay, well, I do want to welcome everybody. It's not often we get out here to 2 time zones away, so it's great to be here. So my title is Deputy Athletics Director, but all Power 5 schools, SEC, Big 12, Pac-12, Big 10, have an SWA, or a Senior Woman Administrator, and we work really closely with the Athletic Director. Every SWA works closely to assure that we have equity in the athletics department. It starts with participation to make sure that we're on par and have female athletes participating, but also that their experience is a championship experience. And a story I'd like to share with you, when Rick was hired, the chancellor was over in China, and he asked me to fly on the charter flight to go meet Rick down in Dallas when Rick was coming up for his press conference. It wasn't 3 minutes that Rick and I were talking about locker rooms for women athletes. And it was one of his first acts as athletic director when he went on a capital campaign, was to make sure our women's cross country, women's track, women's soccer, women's tennis had locker rooms, some upgrades that we needed for women's sports. So it's real important in my role that I kind of can gauge the business aspect of the athletics department, because there's clearly a lot of competition in Division I, and I can talk with him about things that would benefit the female athletes as well.
So you're speaking of gender equity, and we just completed 3 years ago, we completed a plan. You know, you talk about some of the things that we've done in the locker rooms, with that kind of upgrade, but what have we done for the female athletes and some of our other sports in the way of, equity and salary for coaches and recruiting and those kind of things that really make a difference for our female sports?
Well, for men's and women's golf, we made sure that both coaches were paid equitably. A minor thing that you wouldn't think of, a lot of our minor sports and women's sports didn't have their laundry done. And we talked about increasing the number of equipment managers we had, the number of opportunities that our women athletes had for nutrition and fueling station. When we upgraded our training table and fueling station for our football and men's basketball programs, Rick, talk to Rick. Hey, Rick, we need to make sure that all of the women's tennis, women's ski, women's cross, and I got to tell you, is virtually unheard of. What we do for our female athletes, the majority of Power 5 conferences don't do that for our women athletes. And so really in my role, you have to have a relationship with the athletic director. He's got to trust me that, Rick, I think this is something I think we need to do. So I don't come banging on his door every single day, so that when I come, he knows I'm serious.
Well, the other thing is Ceal and I both started almost at the same time. So when I came to Colorado in 1987, she was just here, and we used to help each other recruit a lot, and that was really fun. And so as she said, when I took the job, she was on the plane to pick me up, and it's like we never lost contact, which was really fun. But you also are very active on the national scene, and your role on the Women's Basketball Selection Committee. Tell everybody what that is and what you do in that.
Well, for a basketball junkie, which is really my first love, I have the greatest excuse in the world to watch 25 to 30 games a week of women's basketball. So essentially this committee, it selects the teams. There's 32 teams that are automatically in the bracket for men and women. and 32 teams that get selected randomly. Not randomly, we put our heads together, but 32 teams. So we select the teams, we rank the teams, we seed them, we put them in a bracket, and we determine the whole championship. Then you get to sit at the scorer's table and watch all the games. It's great. It's a great role.
Well, we appreciate everybody's attention. I know we're out of time, and this is supposed to be really quick, but thanks for being here. We always enjoy being here. Our great chancellor's here, and you're going to get to hear from him in a little bit. Those of you that can stick around, our men's basketball plays at 9 o'clock tonight. We're going to all go up into this little area up there and watch the game. So if you want to hang out and watch the game with an AD that likes to yell, come on. We'd love to have you. So enjoy tonight. Thank you.